Okay, so workpiece is continuously moving from left side to right side, and at the same time, so we can this number of rollers will remove the material from the workpiece, and you will get maximum reduced thickness of workpiece. Okay, so that is the working principle of planetary mill. Okay, understood, right? So planetary mill. Next one is tandem mill. Okay, tandem mill. So in a continuous way, you can reduce the thickness of the workpiece. So you can reduce the thickness till the requirement. Okay, you can continuously use the number of rollers. So each roller is having different thickness. So in one pass, it is very difficult to reduce the thickness, right? So in three roller mill also we can use here, or also this is a continuous process. So in a single pass, pass is single, but number of roller we are using here. So that is the method of using that is called as tandem mill. Okay, that is called as tandem mill. So here roller initially the gap of two rollers is high, and in next setup, so gap is goes on reducing. So is nothing but thickness of the workpiece also reduces. Thickness of the workpiece also reduces at the end. Okay, so this is the working principle of tandem mill. So next one is Sandismeyer mill. Okay, Sandismeyer mill. So here you can observe the number of rollers. Okay, here you can observe the number of roller. So this method also is mainly used to reduce the thickness, large amount of thickness in the workpiece in a single pass, along with good accuracy. Good accuracy. That purpose we are using this Sandismeyer mill operation. Sandismeyer mill operation. So how it works? So here number of roller is there, so that number of rollers is giving compressive force to the workpiece. So that number of rollers will give the compressive force to the workpiece. So what happened? So maximum amount of the workpiece will be reduces here. Maximum amount of workpiece will be reduces because of that compressive force of all the rollers. Because of compressive force of all the rollers, maximum amount of the workpiece will be reduces here in the top roller. And also this roller speed is very high. Why? Because the as per I already mentioned, the diameter is inversely proportional to speed. So here very less the diameter roller is using, so the speed is very high, so a high accuracy you will get here. So Sandismeyer mill is getting advantages is, so we can remove large amount of material in the workpiece, along with you will get good accuracy. So in a single method we are getting two work. One is maximum amount, we can remove maximum amount of workpiece, along with good accuracy you will get with the help of this method. Okay, so this method is called as Sandesmeyer mill operation. So this mill operation is working like this. This roller is just acting as a loading purpose. This loading purpose we are using this rollers. Okay, and this smaller rollers is applying compressive force to the metal. Okay, workpiece, and you will get the required thickness of workpiece. This method is mainly used to produce sheet metal operation. Okay, sheet metal operation. Any doubt? Any doubt? Any doubt?
Okay.
Okay. Next concept is variables of rolling process. So we already seen the different types of rolling operation. So next we'll see the variables of rolling process. Variables of rolling process. So first one is roll diameter. So roll diameter, I already told. So what is the use of roll diameter? Okay, so bigger the diameter, what happens speed? Anyone? Bigger the diameter, what happens speed?
Speed
Decrease.
decreases.
Decreases. Increases.
Speed is increase. Diameter decreases is nothing but speed is increases. Diameter is inversely proportional to speed. Okay, so diameter increases is nothing but speed is decreases. Okay, so then we'll see the what happened load characteristics. Rolling load increases with the roll diameter. If the larger the diameter is nothing but maximum amount of load is applied to the workpiece. Okay, diameter increases is nothing but load is also increases. The maximum load is applied to the workpiece. So diameter is directly proportional to load. Okay, diameter is directly proportional to load. Okay, so as roll diameter decreases, both rolling load and length of arc of contact is also decreases. Length of arc of contact is nothing but we already seen in the angle of bite. Okay, angle of bite. So from A to B is the arc of contact. Or if the diameter of the roller or diameter of the rolling mill is decreases is nothing but length of arc of contact is also decreases. Okay, so why? Because very less amount of rolling mill is contacted with the workpiece. Okay, so less amount of load is applied to the workpiece. Okay, next, small diameter rolls supported by large backup rolls can produce a greater reduction and keep the work flat. So this is based on Sendismeyer mill. Small diameter roll supported by, so small diameter roll is just contacted with the workpiece. Okay, smaller diameter of the rolls supported by the large backup rolls. Large big size roller is just giving support to the smaller roll, and that will give greater reduction and keep the work flat. It is same as previous one. So here you can observe these are the backup rolls. So just giving support to the smaller roll. So smaller roll is just contacted with the workpiece, and you will get the required flatness of workpiece. Okay, so this is the variable of rolling process. First one, roll diameter. Second one is friction. Second one is friction. So frictional force is needed to pull the metal into the rolls. So high friction rate is required to move metal from the left side to right side is nothing but rolling operation. For the rolling operation, friction is needed. Then only metal will be moving from left side to right side for rolling operation. Large fraction of rolling load comes from the frictional forces. Okay, so frictional forces is very important for rolling operation. Friction varies from point to point along the arc of contact of the roll. It will be acting from entry to neutral point along the direction of the roll rotation, and from the neutral point to exit point it will be opposing the direction of roll rotation. What is the meaning of this one is, so friction will be very low from starting point to neutral point. So maximum amount of load is applying in the roller mill is neutral point. Okay, in the neutral point, so maximum amount of load is applying, and for after crossing this neutral point, then again that load is goes on decreases. Okay, initially that friction load is less, then in the neutral point of the rolling mill, so I will show you once again. So this is actually rolling mill. So this is the contacting point. This is the contacting point. So here this is called as neutral point. This is called as neutral point. This is the neutral point. So this neutral point is applying maximum amount of force. Okay, this is applying the maximum amount of force. Okay, this is applying maximum amount of force to the material. Okay, next, since it is very difficult to measure the variation in the coefficient of friction, so coefficient of friction is denoted by mu. Okay, so the range of this coefficient of friction from 0.05 to 0.1. So coefficient of friction is inversely proportional to the rolling speed. Okay, so friction is inversely proportional to the speed. Okay, so this you keep remember. Okay, so coefficient of friction is inversely proportional to speed. If the friction is increases, speed is decreases. If speed is increases, is nothing but friction is decreases. Likewise. Okay, so this is a friction. So friction is a required for rolling operation. So then only material will be smoothly moving from left side to right side. So cold rolling process, the friction usually higher. Okay. Next, deformation resistance of the metal. Deformation resistance of the metal. Deformation resistance indicate how much a given metal offers resistance to deformation. Okay, deformation resistance indicate how much a given metal offers resistance to deformation. Okay, so it is deformation resistance is mainly depends on the material properties. Some material is having greater deformation resistance, some material is having lesser deformation resistance. Okay, so deformation resistance is offered by a metal for external load, so greater deformation resistance is nothing but more load is required to deform the metal. Okay, lesser deformation resistance is nothing but less amount of load is enough to deform the metal. So higher the deformation resistance is higher the difficult to deform. Same thing. Okay, so for greater the deformation resistance of the metal is nothing but, so we have to choose the strong rolling mill. Okay, strong rolling mill, that is called as coarser grain rolling mill. Okay, coarser grain rolling mill. So strong rolling mill we should select if the deformation resistance of a particular metal is very high. Okay, so higher the dislocation density, higher is the deformation resistance. Higher the working temperature, lesser is the deformation resistance. Next one is strip tension. Next one is strip tension. So strip tension is nothing but this is mainly used for pulling purpose. Okay, pulling of a metal. The presence of a tension in the plane of the sheet can be reduced the rolling load. Okay, so the presence of the tension in the plane of the sheet can be reduced the rolling load. So if the tension is very high, tension is nothing but elongation of the material. So tension is nothing but elongation of the material. So here you can observe the elongation of the material from both the end will be very high, is nothing but less amount of load is enough to reduce the thickness of the workpiece. Okay, so that is called as strip tension. That is called as strip tension. So front tension can be controlled by the coiler. Okay, front tension can be controlled by the coiler, and back tension is controlled by uncoiler roll. Okay, uncoiler roll. So tension reduce the wear of the rolls. Okay, reduce the wear of the rolls, improve flatness in the sheet, induce uniform thickness across the width of the sheet. Tension used to shift the neutral point towards the exit plane. Okay, so these are the advantages of tension, strip tension. Next one is pressure distribution in the rolling. Okay, so pressure distribution, how it is distribution, everything. Okay, so till now what are the variables we discuss? One is strip tension. Next one is, anyone?
Deformation resistance of metal,
Okay.
friction and roll diameter.
Okay, good. Okay, so two things we already discussed. One is strip tension and deformation resistance of the metal, and one more is friction. Okay, friction, and then roll diameter. So these are the variables of rolling process. So last one is pressure distribution. We'll see. So how pressure distribution in rolling mill. Okay, the roll pressure P, roll pressure is denoted by P, is increases continuously from entry to neutral point. I already explained. So from entry to neutral point, the pressure is gradually increases, and after in the neutral point, pressure is very high. So pressure of the roller is very high in the neutral point. Then after crossing neutral point is goes on decreasing. Pressure is goes on decreases continuously. The peak pressure at the neutral point is normally called as friction hill. Okay, peak pressure in the neutral point, that is called as friction hill. So I already explained what is that. So this is the roller mill, and contacting point is starting from here and ending here. So here this is neutral point. In the neutral point, pressure is high, and here pressure is goes on increases, and here pressure is goes on decreases. Okay, pressure is goes on decreases. It can be concluded that as the roll tension is increased at the front and back of the roll, pressure can be reduces along the arc of contact. So here pressure is reduces. So pressure is reduces here in the next slide. Next, after crossing the neutral point, pressure is reduces. As a result, the load required for rolling gets reduced. Okay, as a result, the load required for rolling get reduced. Okay, so these are the pressure distribution. So next, so these are the different variables of rolling mill. So first one is which one? Variables of rolling mill.
Roll diameter.
So first one is roll diameter. Okay. So what happened? Roll diameter. Diameter is inversely proportional to speed. Okay. And diameter is diameter is inversely proportional to speed. So diameter is increases is nothing but what happened? Speed. Speed is also reduces. Speed is reduces. Next, so load. What happened? Load. If diameter is directly proportional to load, so if the diameter of the rolling mill is increases, is nothing but load is increases. So maximum amount of material you can remove if the diameter of the roller mill is higher. Okay, so contact arc of contact is also very high. If the diameter of the roller mill is high, is nothing but arc of contact is also high. Smaller the roller diameter is nothing but you will get the greater speed, but load applying is very less, so that some of the mechanism we are using, that is nothing but Sandismeyer mill. So here backup we are using the large amount of roller that will be applying load to the smaller roller. So then we will get the greater reduction. Then only we are getting the greater reduction. Along with that, we are get good accuracy. Good accuracy. That is the advantages of Sandismeyer mill. Okay, so in a single mechanism we are getting two work. One is greater reduction is also possible, along with good accuracy of the finishing also get. Okay, so next one is friction. Second one is friction. So friction is why it is required. So movement of metal from left side to right side. That purpose we are using friction operation. Okay. So frictional is directly proportional to inversely proportional to speed. If the friction is increases, speed is decreases. So smaller the diameter of the roller is nothing but greater speed. So friction is less. Next one is deformation resistance of the metal. So higher the deformation resistance of the metal is nothing but what happened? So more strong material we should use, that is nothing but coarser grain. So more load we should apply to deform the metal. Okay, lesser the deformation resistance metal is nothing but less amount of load is enough to deform the metal. So fine structure of rolling mill is enough to deform the metal. Next one is strip tension. Strip tension is nothing but higher the strip tension, less the load is enough to reduce the thickness of the workpiece. Okay, so strip tension. How to improve the strip tension? So we can use the coiler roller for tension. Tension is nothing but elongation of the material on both the side, uncoiler roll as well as coiler roll. Okay, so we can elongation of the material, then less amount of roll is enough to deform the metal. That is nothing but strip tension. Next, pressure distribution. Pressure is increases continuously from the entry point to neutral point, and from neutral point to exit point, pressure is goes on decreases. Okay, pressure is goes on decreases. These are the variables of rolling mill. Okay, variables of rolling mill. So now we'll discuss about defects in rolled product. Defects in rolled product. So these are the defects will occurs in the rolling product. So first one is surface irregularities. Okay, so surface irregularities. So surface irregularity will occurs. So one is uneven load distribution along the surface of the workpiece, uneven load distribution, and friction between the roller and the workpiece. So, and sometime due to impurity in the material, so rusting or scaling of the workpiece, that problem also, if it is there, then also you will get the surface irregularity problem in the rolled product. Okay, surface irregularity. So surface irregularity will occurs due to some uneven distribution of load, or else friction, uneven friction developed between the rollers as well as workpiece, and defects arises at the surface of the rolls component because of that impurity presence in a material, impurity present in a material, rusting problem and scaling on the workpiece. Next one is structural defects. So what is that structural defects? These defects will changes the integrity of the rolled product, and these will distort the material. Okay, so several surface defects here mentioned there. That is nothing but wavy edge. Okay, wave type of edge you will get. So that is mainly because of the defect in the rolled product. So if the roller mill is not exactly round shape, then you will get wavy shape of workpiece. At the end you will get the wavy shape of rolled product. Okay, so that is called as wavy edge. And zipper crack and edge crack. So zipper crack is nothing but the hole will be occurs in the center of the workpiece, that is called as zipper crack. And edge crack is nothing but at the edge you will get some type of crack formation. So that zipper crack and edge crack will be occurs due to the problem in the workpiece. Okay, so less ductility, due to ductility problem, the uneven distribution happens after rolling after rolling operation, that is called as zipper crack as well as edge crack. Then last one is alligatoring. So alligatoring is nothing but it is because of the defect in workpiece. Okay, defect in workpiece. So usually workpiece will be made with the help of casting process. So that defect will occur during casting operation. Once the workpiece is come outside after rolling product, after rolled, then that metal will be dividing like this. Okay, now that workpiece will be separate, upper part and the lower part will be separate. That problem will occurs because of that defect in the workpiece. So that problem is called as alligator defect. That is called as alligator defect. So these are the defect in rolled product, defects in rolled product. Okay, so some of the defects we already seen. So first one is surface irregularity. So surface irregularity will occurs because of that uneven load distribution in the workpiece, uneven load distribution in the workpiece. And second one is structural defects. Structural defects, these are the different structural defects occurs because of that material defects, or else workpiece rolling mill defect. Because of rolling mill or workpiece defect, several structural defects will occurs. These are the different structural defects. Wavy edge. Wavy edge is nothing but wave formation will occurs in the rolled product, is nothing but after rolling process you will get a wavy type of workpiece. So that wavy type of workpiece will be occurs because of that. Why this wavy type of workpiece will be occurs? Wavy, anyone? Anyone? Or zipper crack or edge crack? So wavy edge will occurs because of that problem.
Uneven
Wavy edge
finishing.
is nothing but if the roller mill is not in exactly round shape. Okay, so if the roller mill is not in exactly in round shape, then it is continuously rotating and applying load to the workpiece. But because of that problem in the rolling mill, you will get wavy edge in the workpiece, wavy edge in the workpiece. So that is called as wavy edge defect. And the third one is zipper crack and edge crack. Zipper crack is nothing but hole formation you will get in the center of the workpiece. Edge crack is nothing but the crack formation at the edge of the workpiece. So this is called as zipper crack as well as edge crack. And alligator zipper crack as well as edge crack is nothing but, so that crack will occur because of the ductility problem in the workpiece. So it is not distribution properly. Workpiece is not a distribution after rolled product, so it is not distributing properly. That error is called as defect, is called as zipper crack as well as edge crack. Next one is alligatoring. Alligatoring is a defect in the workpiece that is due to casting problem. Okay, due to casting problem, that alligatoring problem will occurs. So these are the different types of rolling defects. Okay, so this completes rolling portion. Okay, so forging portion is finished and rolling portion is also finished. Okay, so any doubt till here, rolling as well as forging?
No, sir.
Okay, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next topic is drawing operation. Next topic is drawing operation. So what is drawing? Not your sketch pen and this one drawing. This is drawing operation. So drawing is a metal working process. It is also one of the metal working process. It is comes under category of forming operation. So drawing is a metal working process which uses tensile forces to stretch metal. So here tensile force is nothing but what? So different types of forces you already studied in the subject like MOM. Okay, material of mechanics of material, you already studied different types of stresses. So can you tell me the different types of stresses?
Compressive stress, shear stress,
Okay,
tensile stress.
okay, okay, good. Tensile stress, compressive stress, shear stress, and bending stress. Okay, these are the different types of stresses. Okay, so drawing is a metal working process which uses tensile forces to the stretch metal. Tensile is nothing but elongation of the material. So elongation of the material is nothing but, so take one rubber band and applying load on both ends. What happened? It will stretch. Okay, it will stretch. That type of stress is called as tensile forces. Tensile forces, if you apply tensile forces to that rubber band, that will stretch. Okay, so as a metal is drawn, pulled, it stretches thinner into a desired shape and thickness. Okay, so we'll see. So drawing is classified into two types: sheet metal drawing and wire, bar, and tube drawing. These are the varieties of drawing process. So drawing is a metal operation. We are applying tensile forces to the metal, and with the that metal is passes through the dies. Okay, through the die. Die is nothing but pre-sized design. Okay, pre-sized design, that is a fixed one. So that workpiece will be passed in between the two dies and you will get the required shape of workpiece. Okay, you will get the required shape of workpiece. So drawing is classified into two types: sheet metal drawing as well as and wire, bar, and tube drawing process. So this is actually bar drawing process. Okay, bar drawing process. So this is the die and the required lower die is stationary. Okay, lower die is stationary and upper die you can move upward as well as downward based on the thickness, based on the final thickness of the workpiece. So this is in conical shape. This is die is also in conical shape. So at the end, this is the thickness, actual thickness requirement. So based on the thickness required of the material, you can set the die, upper die. Upper die can be moved upward and downward and once you set the upper die as well as lower die, then it will not move, and this will be pulled. Okay, this is a bar, total bar. So bar will be heated in a furnace. Okay, so and it is converted into red hot condition and passing through this die. So passing through this die, and this will be drawn, this bar will be drawn through this die, and you will get the required shape, and you will get the required dimension. Okay, you will get the required dimension. That is called as bar drawing process. Bar drawing process. So we are applying pulling action. Okay, pulling this rod here. Okay, so based on that pulling force, this metal will be passing through this die, and the required diameter of the workpiece you will get. So that is called as bar drawing operation. Bar drawing operation. Understood, right? So initially this die, lower die and upper die. Lower die is in conical shape. Upper die is also in conical shape. And at the end, you should set the required thickness of workpiece. How much thickness of workpiece you need. Based on that, you set the dimension, set the gap of two dies. Lower die is stationary, upper die can be moved upward and downward, and based on the thickness required, you set the upper die for a certain gap. Then this bar is heated in a furnace for a certain temperature. Then that heated bar is passed through this die, and while passing this, this bar will be pulling with the help of some other devices. Okay, some other devices we can pulling this bar, so that bar will be moving through this die, and you will get the required thickness sized bar. Okay, so that is called as bar drawing process. Okay, bar drawing process. One minute, I will show you. So this is bar drawing process. Okay, understood? Any doubt? Bar drawing process? Any doubt? Tell me, any doubt in bar drawing process? No one is there? Aromal, Prajwal, Suresh,
No, sir.
tell me, understood this bar
Sir,
drawing?
noted, sir.
Hmm? Tell me, understood or not? Bhavit, it's not there. Inayat, Munawar, Prajwal Shetty, Akila, okay, next the tube drawing process. So this tube drawing process is mainly used to produce the tube shape. So hollow shape, hollow pipe. So PVC pipe and all we can produce with the help of this tube drawing process. Okay, so here also the gap we can set with the help of this die, conical shape of die. You can observe here conical shape of die, and the thickness of this we can maintain with the help of this die. So lower die is stationary, upper die we can move upward as well as downward direction based on the required thickness, and also this mandrel is using for hollow purpose. Okay, this mandrel is using, so one is fixed mandrel and second one is movable mandrel. Okay, two types of mandrel we can set here. So this mandrel is placed in between the pipe as well as die. Okay, in between the pipe as well as die, and that heated metal is placed here and moving through this die. Here drawing force is applying, that is nothing but pulling force applied to this pipe, and you will get the required thickness of workpiece outside. Okay, so required thickness of tube you will get with the help of this drawing process. This process is called as tube drawing process. This process is called as tube drawing process. And this is a floating plug. Okay, this is floating plug. Okay, so this is rod. So this rod is connected to one of the fixed structure. Okay, so here floating one, so there is no support device is required, this type of mantle. So these are the two varieties of tube drawing process.
Today we will discuss about tube drawing with the help of a mandrel. We have a die with a opening and a mandrel. On mandrel we have a larger tube diameter which will be drawn into tube. There will be a pulling force which will pull this tube from this die, and when the pulling force pull this tube through this die, mandrel will restrict the shape of the tube to the limited range, and the tube will form in the desired shape and size. This tube will be our final product. Pulling force will pull the larger diameter tube on the mandrel and in the die, and the final product, final tube diameter, we will can get from the tube drawing process. So this is the working of tube drawing with the help of a mandrel. Thank you.
So this is the working principle of tube drawing process. Next one is wire drawing process. So here the workpiece is continuously supplying, and the different thickness we can set with the help of different number of dies. Okay, so here the dies, and this is also continuous process similar to that of continuous rolling process. Okay, so this is called as wire drawing process. So wire we can produce with the help of this type of drawing process. So here number of dies we are using here. So here the thickness of usually 10 mm to 5 mm, 5 mm to 2 mm, 2 mm to 1 mm, like that continuously we can reduce the thickness of the workpiece with the help of this drawing process. Okay, so this process is called as wire drawing process. At the end, that reduce the thickness of the workpiece we can collect here in the at the end we'll get the wire shape of workpiece. Okay, so this this is called as wire drawing process.
Today we will discuss about wire drawing process. Firstly, we will discuss about parts of the wire drawing process. We have a die 1, die 2 and die 3rd. This die has larger inner space. This die has smaller, and the third die has smaller as compared to first and second die. Space is very small in die 3. We have a puller which will pull the rod or pull the raw material. We have a coiling roller which will coil the wire made by this process. This is a raw material of which we can make wire which will pass through these dies, and the diameter or the thickness of the material will less in 3 dies, and in the last die the wire will make, and this wire will coil on the coiling roller. This is the final product. This wire is the final product, and this is the raw material. Now we will see the working of the wire making process. When raw material will travel through first die, then the diameter or thickness will be decreased, and the final product will be made this. And when this will travel in the second die, again the diameter or thickness of the raw material will decrease. And this, when last one third die, this material will travel from the third die, wire will make, and this will coil on the roller. Roller will rotate, puller will pull the wire from the raw material, and coiling will take place on the coiler. From this process, we can make wire of the desired size. These dies are used for the desired product and thickness of the wire. So this is a working of wire making process. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, what are the topics we discussed today? Anyone? So, what are the topics we discussed?
Principles of rolling process and drawing.
Okay. So, Akila, answer your attendance. Akila, absent. Okay. Ashik.
Yes, sir.
Present, sir.
Okay. Then Sambram.
Yes, sir.
Abdul Bashir.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Amal Raj.
Yes, sir.
Ishank.
Present, sir.
Charan.
Yes, sir.
Nikhil. Nikhil. Absent. Okay. Nitin. Absent. Samrit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sharvari present, right? Trivikrama. Okay. Absent. Srirag. Srirag.
Present, sir.
Okay. Anvesh. Anvesh. Binish. Binish absent. Okay. Chetan. Eldrin.
Present, sir.
Okay. Eldrin present. Jagat.
Present, sir.
Jaswin.
Present, sir.
Manish. Aftab. Manish absent. Aftab. Aftab. Where is he? Jagat. Where is Aftab?
Don't know, sir.
Then why you are answering?
I was answering for me.
Prajwal.
Present, sir.
Ronak.
Present, sir.
Rajun. Sajun. Vishal. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll wind up the class here itself. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. The remaining portion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.